Hello, welcome to another episode of Dragon Talk. I'm Greg Tito, and this is the official Dungeons & Dragons podcast. And I finally have my co-host back with me. Hi, Shelly.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm okay.
Are you Shelly Mazanoble?
Yeah.
The Shelly Mazanoble?
The red-eyed wonder.
The sorceress who controls air and space and time with her glasses of doom.
My special X-ray red-eye glasses.
Why are your eyes red? Have you been bing-bonging it up a little bit too much?
A little bit. Hitting the bing and the bong.
Right here in the Wizards of the Coast office.
There's a couple of different theories.
Yeah.
One is that Baal has red eyes. You might have seen him on the cover of Betrayal at Baldur's Gate.
Oh, Bale.
Bale.
No, is it Ball or Bale?
It's Baal.
Ball? Ball?
Baal. He's got red eyes.
No.
So do I now.
Right, because you take on the form of every product that you're selling.
Yes. I am really invested in my work.
So when you play Axis and Allies, you become...
I will become a general.
Okay.
Let's just
leave it at that.
I don't know which one.
All right. But a good one.
A good one.
On the good side.
On the good one.
That makes perfect
the
sense.
The ally side.
That's coming the
Friday.
Anniversary edition.
Friday.
Well, people are going to listen to this in the future, so
I'm
it's
sorry.
October 20th?
October 20th, which is also my dad's birthday.
Happy birthday, Shelly's dad.
Yep.
You get a game. It's called Axis and Allies.
And he'll go, oh, my daughter, she designed this game. She makes games. That's what she does. And yes, he's...
Your dad's Larry David?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
All right, so remember Seinfeld?
Yeah.
The George's...
Yeah? George Steinbrenner?
Yes.
Yes.
We never saw him.
Yeah.
We just heard his voice. That's how I picture my dad sounds.
Do you know who does that voice?
Is it Larry?
Larry David does that
really?
voice. He does the voice of George Steinbrenner.
No, with him.
I know, right?
I love Larry David.
That's coming back, I hear.
I know. I watched a few episodes on an airplane
That's good stuff.
of the new season.
I feel like sometimes when we're recording Dragon Talk episodes that we're basically in a Curb Your Enthusiasm episode. Is that true?
I wish.
Yeah. This water is for me, all right? It's for hydrated people only. I don't know. I'm trying to riff on it being a Curb Your Enthusiasm and failing terribly. But one thing I will tell you about is that Dungeons & Dragons has a lot of fun products coming out. Did you know that?
Are we done talking about my eyes?
Do you want to talk more about your eyes? I feel like you were trying to avoid your eye conversation the whole time.
My eyes. No, it's okay.
Did you put electric blue in your eyes?
Electric boogaloo?
Electric boogaloo? Did that help?
Nothing helps.
Did it make it worse?
Yes, nothing is helping.
How many fingers do I have up?
7.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
How did you? This is the first time you've noticed that I have that rare defect.
It's the first time I've noticed you.
But your eyes actually work now.
Yeah, now they do.
Now they do.
Yep.
They didn't before.
Because I can actually see into your mind. I know that you were thinking 7.
That's true. I was thinking 7.
I have a cold too. But I huffed a bunch of Afrin before I came here because I didn't want to be all like.
That's best pot, and then they'll just take all the sound effects and add them to their monsters.
Did you just say best pot?
Best podcast.
Oh,
sound effects.
Is this like
ever.
another one of those? Why are your eyes so red?
Yes, we referenced that earlier with Bing Bongs.
Was that just earlier?
Just a couple
minutes ago.
I'm gonna go. You want to talk about the announcements with me?
Yep.
All right. So there's a game. It's called Dungeons and Dragons. You can play it.
Yeah.
There's a new thing coming out. Is Xanathar's Guide to Everything.
People, I think, are very excited about this.
It's a thing.
Yeah.
It's got lots. You can play. I think there's 27 new subclasses that you can play.
Who has time to be writing all these new subclasses?
Several people.
Wow.
Jeremy Crawford has one.
Jeremy.
Yes. Mike Merles.
Merles.
Yes.
Heard of him.
Adam Lee. I think
like
had something
him.
to do with it.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah. Good stuff all around.
Yeah.
I think Ben and Chris had something to do with this as well.
No way.
Yeah. I think at least on the development side.
Cool.
Yeah. Ben Petrosor.
My nemesis.
He got a haircut.
I noticed.
He looks like a completely different person.
He still looks like the kind of guy that would screw you and stab you in the back in a game of diplomacy.
Which he does on like a regular basis.
You can cut that hair any way you want, Ben Petrosor.
We know your true colors shining through. That is exciting. It is Xanathar's Guide to Everything is going to be out November 21st everywhere, but on November 10th you can get it in your local game store with a special cover.
It's not that far away. I remember talking about it, and I was thinking, why are we even talking about it? It's like next year, practically.
But it's not. It's very close. In fact, by the time you're listening to this in the podcast, it might actually already be in your hands.
Yeah.
So I hope you enjoy it.
I think they will.
I hope you're going to be playing
And that
all
cover,
of the characters in it.
Both covers are
Yes.
awesome.
It's good stuff. We may have already been done with Extra Life, but I'm still going to talk about that a little bit because it's on November 3rd and November 4th. We play Dungeons & Dragons the entire day, essentially. There's a nighttime campaign on November 3rd, as well as mini
That's
games
gonna
throughout
be
the day on
fun.
November 4th. Go check them out if this has already happened, which I'm pretty sure it has. You can get them on YouTube. You can get them here at the Twitch channel. It'll be
Cool.
fun stuff.
Yeah.
Always can donate to Extra Life. It's not like it ends during this promotion. So we're going to be continuing raising money for Seattle Children's Hospital and children's hospitals across the country, which is very
worthy.
important. You can buy, if you're not into the just donating to make people do fun stuff on the stream type of donating, you can also buy the Turtle package on D&D Beyond, DM's Guild, and on Fantasy Grounds. It's $10, and you can play as a turtle.
So even after Extra Life,
Even after Extra
they're
Life.
still going to.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
It's still going to all go towards Extra Life, all the stuff that
Cool.
Wizards would get. And then also, I forgot about this, but Chris Lindsay did something really cool. He put up something called One Grung Above on DM's Guild. It's
did?
not Adventurers League legal, but it's a couple of pages on how you can play as a Grung player, and that's going to be $4.99.
From his campaign.
From his campaign, yeah. It's all the stuff that he developed for his Stream of Annihilation thing, and then now at the campaign that he's running now
Cool.
on the D&D Twitch channel.
Such a generous lad.
He's a generous lad. It's not developed to be like, Adventurers League legal or anything like that, but he just wanted to make sure people had what he was basically using to run those characters, which I think is cool. And that also goes towards all of Extra Life.
Cool.
Make it happen. It's a thing.
Good.
There's a lot of fun stuff happening out there. There's Tales from Candlekeep. We're gonna be talking to some of those folks later on in this recording session on twitch.tv/DND. But it will be out on Steam. You can check that out. It is a adaptation of the Adventure System board game that our friends WizKids have created. You can play it in Steam. It's good as a single-player tactical playthrough of the Dungeons & Dragons. You can play some of the characters from that are featured in Tomb of Annihilation, like Dragonbait, Artist Simber. There's Ashara, the Arakokra. Arakokra. And I think there's actually another one in there. There's a Tabaxi. You can play as a Tabaxi.
Oh.
Yeah.
Drunky.
Yeah, we got to pour one out for Drunky Chusus. There's also really cool jewelry that you can get. It's Han Cholo makes this jewelry. There's 4 different items on there.
Really cool.
There's a Beholder pendant, a Claw of Tiamat pendant, a D&D ampersand pendant, and the 9 Live Stealer bracelet cuff type thing. You can check those out, hancholo.com. It's under the officially licensed tab. And would be really great if you were wearing it right now, but you're not.
I didn't know.
We're just going to say
Why
that.
don't I?
Why don't we just say that's a beholder on your necklace? Maybe it's a ampersand type
Could
thing.
be. It looks like something from like one of the factions.
It looks like
maybe.
that, or it could be the logo of the Mugatu from the Zoolander.
It could be a goatee.
It could be a goatee.
Oh, do I look like Greg Tito?
Well, one thing's for clear is we're not looking at your eyes when you put that down on your thing. So continue.
Eyes up here. Nope. Nope.
No,
Never mind.
no.
Goatee down here.
Goatee down here. It's a go-to for your goatee. That is awesome. There's also the Demogorgon jacket, which I wish I was wearing right now.
Oh, yes.
It's a black satin track jacket, and it's got.
How did Bart Carroll get his hands on one of those?
He took it.
It's really nice.
It's good. It's way too fashionable for
know.
us to be wearing.
Well,
I feel like way cooler. Like I should be like in the Cobra Kai dojo when I put it on.
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's not like those guys were cool or anything, but they had an aesthetic to them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I feel like I'm in because I'm in the club. There's also the Dungeon Master screen Reincarnated is out, as well as Tomb of Annihilation dice. Not to mention, Gale Force 9 has these awesome
I know, I just saw that.
Tomb of Annihilation DM screens, and the D&D Adventure Grid is also available for your gaming pleasure.
That's pretty cool.
I feel like I should talk to you guys about Force Grey. Survive the Tomb. Force Grey's Survive the Tomb is going to be on November 18th at 3 p.m. Pacific time. If you're listening to this, you may not, I'm not sure if the timing is going to be right, but at the very least, it's going to conclude the episode of Force Grey. Joe Manganiello, Deborah Ann Wall, Matt Mercer is going to be dungeon mastering hot off his wedding. He's going to not be going on a honeymoon. He'll be going to Brooklyn, New York,
It
to
could be
Dungeon
like a
Master
honeymoon,
for this.
though, for
It
him.
could be a honeymoon. I guess so. It's depending on what happens to the player characters.
Yeah.
It could be nice. Utkarsh and Budkar, as well as Dylan Sprouse will also be there. And we're thinking about adding a new person. We're not sure who it is going to be. We might be someone from previous seasons or shows or some new blood in Force Grey. We don't know yet. But it's going to be pretty exciting.
That's
Those of you in the
big.
New York area, if you're there, you'll be able to buy tickets to see these fine folks play the Dungeons and the Dragons November 18th at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, not
Okay.
Pacific Time,
All right.
Eastern Time in Brooklyn, New York.
Is that a Saturday or Sunday?
It's a Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, it's also, you'll be there you'll be going PAX Unplugged at that
I
time.
will. I'll be in Philadelphia.
You'll be
Just across the waters.
Motown Philly back again.
Philadelphia freedom.
Yeah, you're going to have a cheesesteak?
Maybe just the cheese.
I don't think that's the same. Yeah? You can give up being a vegetarian for a Philly cheesesteak, right? No?
Yeah. Remember Steakums?
I do. That's probably half the reason why you became a vegetarian, isn't it?
Because my mom fed me things like Steakums.
Yeah, steak That's what people don't realize is that it was
Subliminal.
it was supposed to be like isn't this so good?
Steak.
Instead of what it really ended up being was like
Steak?
I don't think it's steak. It's more like
Little
meat paper.
shreds of- yeah, it was like meat paper.
Meat paper.
Shredded meat paper.
Yeah, but that's what Philly cheesesteaks are
So
made
I
out of.
probably technically could eat it because it's probably not really meat.
That's true. You think about it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like bacon bits? Not really. But
Not really. It's just bacon flavored juices.
Right.
Yeah.
Just little crunchy
It's good stuff.
pellets.
All right. There's always lots of fun stuff going on in salads like bacon bits,
Yep.
As well as
Yep, good one.
chickens, or just on the Twitch channel. Please subscribe and get some of the fun emotes.
We're like bacon bits.
We're like bacon bits. You can. I don't know if you know this, but you can go to other channels if you're a subscriber of this channel and go in other channels and drop our emotes in there. So there should be green flames blowing up everywhere, as far as I'm concerned. It's only $4.99. You can subscribe to Twitch. You get our fun emotes. You get our badges. You get no ads. We should be rolling more pre-ads in here when it's happening, but
You're
you get that
kinda
for
like
this.
an ad,
I'm kind of like Bob the ad,
Yeah.
but I'm more like.
But still, it's still like
But it's all stuff you want to hear about,
genuine,
right?
good stuff.
Right. All right. Well, I think we're done. Let's get to one of those fun segments and learn about some lore and/or have Jeremy talk to me about some sage advice.
okay.
All right. All right. I apologize to Will and Sid for making you wait an entire half hour. We're terrible people.
Half an hour.
I know, right? Because it's 3:28.
Ruh-roh.
Yeah, I know.
Well, if
So
I
it's-
have to go late, I'll go late.
that's right, you
I'm
will.
eating.
That's right, you will.
I will. Totes.
Totes my goats. I only have Shelly for one interview session today. What do you guys think about that? Drop them green flames. On Counter Roleplay, we're going to be calling you very, very soon. Are you ready? That was a really good segment. I really enjoyed that segment that we just listened to.
So good.
I feel like I know more about like what the segment was talking about, but then also more about myself.
Yeah. It was very self-reflecting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to affirm that a little bit more, but we can't. We don't have time to. We have to
No.
get to our interview. We have to call up Will and Sid from Encounter Roleplay.
Okay.
Let's make it happen.
Do it. Let's do it. Remember when
Best.
phones rang like that?
No, that's how Skype rings. That's not how a phone rings.
Back in the day?
Who had phones? I couldn't afford them. Hi, how you guys doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Good.
Hi.
Sorry, we're calling you a half hour late. We're terrible people.
Yeah, we know. It's okay.
Okay.
Stop.
That was close. I thought you guys were gonna have to be like nice, but then I'm glad that you went right in for
Yeah.
the kill.
Yeah.
Yeah. Savage.
Even the playing field.
I'll
We
get
got it.
Way to do it. So thank you for calling in, Will Jones and Sid Shields. How are you guys doing?
We're doing good. We're doing good. We're hanging out in Canada. We're streaming a bunch of Dungeons and Dragons. We're here talking to you guys. It's all good.
Nice. How are you doing, Sydney?
I'm doing really good. We got to take a pizza break while you guys
Yeah.
made us wait a little bit,
See?
so I'm okay.
Nice.
And if we didn't make you wait, you would be hangry. And
Exactly.
That's right.
That wouldn't be a good
it was
interview.
all for the best.
We do that. We
makes perfect
want
sense.
to force you to take care of yourself.
We're all about
Someone
self-care.
has to.
Yes.
We're on self-care here on the Dragon. I don't even know what the name of the podcast is. What is it again? Dragon Talk?
Dragon Talk,
Yeah.
something like that?
Something like that. So you guys have been playing Dungeons & Dragons for a long time. We always like to go back to the beginning to hear the story of how you began. So it doesn't matter which one of you start first, but tell us, how did you first get introduced to the Dungeons and the Dragons?
Well, first of all, I was introduced to the dragons. The dungeons actually came a little while later, but it must have been, I think I was 10 or 11, and it was 4th edition.
So you're really old.
I started playing
I
with
know,
my
I'm
family.
like, geez.
Got it. So you're more than like pushing 50?
Right, yeah. How old am I? 21?
You're 21.
21.
No, he
So I was
was 10
actually
when
a
4th
baby.
edition came out.
That's crazy
were,
talk.
like,
Sorry.
We already were like gray-haired wizards by the time he
And now we're just like decrepit old people, like rolling down the hill.
Get off my podcast!
I had no idea you just were able to drink.
Wow, that's why he's in Canada, because the drinking age
Right?
is...
That's why.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's why I'm here. I'm still a teenager.
Right.
Well, are you serious?
Yeah, I'm
Do we-
19.
Do we need permission from your parents to talk to you on this?
We did
can
not
send a
get the
letter.
permission.
You can send them a letter.
You're 19?
Yeah,
You used to be 19 once.
I can't
that
even...
sounded so sad.
Yeah.
That was
I'm
was
sorry.
pure
Yes.
sadness.
That was...
We can pretend she's older.
No,
I'm trying so hard to grow.
Yeah, it's all right.
No,
well, so
it's
sorry
cool.
to derail
No,
your
no.
story there, Will. Go. When did you
Yeah,
start?
no, it was just that, I started playing with my parents. I started DMing when I was about 10 or 11 with my family who I roped into playing games with me, and it all kind of spiraled out of control from there to the very unhealthy point where it is now.
That's awesome. You played with your parents?
Yeah. My dad, he used to do sort of wargaming and stuff like that, so I easily roped him into it. And then it was just a small matter of guilting the rest of my family to spend time with me. So that worked out quite well for me.
That's pretty good. Are you the youngest?
I am, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that works.
I could tell. Yeah, that was me. That was the way to annoy my older brothers and parents to
Play with
please
me.
come on. Yeah, they mostly said no though, so it's why I went more into to video games. So that's super cool. What did you? Were you the dungeon master or?
I was, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
I've been DMing since the age of 10 or so and stuck there. So it's been I got a bit of experience from DMing for parents, and now it's Twitch, so it's quite similar in that way.
It is. That is true. What about you, Sydney? When did you start playing?
Whoa. I started playing games, not specifically D&D, but just general RPGs with my grandma when I was really young, like 5 or 6.
Aw.
Me and my grandma Kathy would throw down on Friday nights together.
That's
Wow. Like,
awesome.
what kind of games were you playing with Grandma Kathy?
Well, she would just make up stuff that I could follow along with at such a young age. And then when I got older, we got into 4th edition, and I started bringing my best friends Joey and Noah over to my house to play. And then one time we were playing in my kitchen, and my dad walked over and he was like, "Is this Dungeons and Dragons?" And we looked up and we were like, yeah, how did you know? And he started to walk away and turned back, grabbed a whiskey, and was like, "You need to get out while you can." And he said, "One night I started off true neutral. I ended up Red Dragon." And walked away and has never talked to me about it since.
Oh my god!
Come on! I thought you were gonna say that he sat down and then he
Started
you've
playing
been
with
playing
you.
ever since.
No, my mom was like, "When did you play Dungeons and Dragons?" And he was like, "Back in the 90s." And she was like, "We were married in the 90s."
I don't know you at all.
He was the other woman you played with, wasn't it? Wait, so he said he started out true neutral and then he went to Red Dragon? What does that mean?
I have no
doesn't
idea.
know. We'll talk
There's a
about
natural
it.
progression. I don't know.
When you think about it, it makes no sense.
I know.
True neutral. Maybe he was. I don't know.
Maybe it was the drinking that had to
Is
do with
he-
it. The whiskey was.
I know. I like that he
Played a
grabbed a
role.
whiskey and was like, "Let me tell you about that time. I was true neutral." Is this Grandma Kathy's son? Is that
No,
Oh.
this is on the other side.
On the other
My-
side.
Oh,
my-
okay.
yeah.
Just out of curiosity, was Grandma Kathy like 29 years old?
I know, that's what I picture.
Yeah, right.
I'm fairly certain Grandma Kathy and I are probably in the same age box.
In fact, I am Grandma Kathy.
And she's here tonight.
She's here. This is your life.
Saturday.
You guys don't even get that reference. That's oh my gosh!
kids
So that's so
today.
cool. So when did you start, Will? When did you start broadcasting on Twitch your play?
Yeah. Must have been about well over 2 years ago now. We started doing Encounter Roleplay. Just about 4 of us from England that we played home games together. I ended up meeting Sydney through doing the Twitch streaming, playing D&D together.
Yeah.
And it's just sort of spiraled out of control from there. It's now the day job. So it's super exciting. It feels like we've been doing it a lot longer than we actually have. But then I guess our lifespan has been so very short.
So you see, now you're picking up what we're putting down. Good.
Just wait until you get older. You
Yeah.
want to talk about time flying.
But 2 years ago, it actually does feel like it was, not common, right? It wasn't, there were a few of the bigger names out there. I mean, JP was doing it, and Critical Role had just kind of started up,
Yeah.
but it was not as ubiquitous as it is now.
That's very true, yeah, and it's been great to see the explosion on Twitch with new D&D streamers coming up all the time, and I'm like, oh, you young whippersnappers!
That's right. You're the old veteran now.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
The old grizzled veteran who's lived through many a Twitch glitch in his day.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's a trigger. Yeah.
So really, what do you credit this success to? Because you said you kind of gloss over that, but you were playing and then broadcasting, and then now all of a sudden it's the day job. But what is in between? Because there's probably a lot of people who are playing D&D,
Right.
maybe broadcasting it, but they're not making a living doing it.
Right,
What's
right,
the
yeah.
secret?
Twitch is a war of attrition. It's this long grind, which is nonetheless very enjoyable. But it was something like 24-hour D&D streams that we did. I streamed pretty much every day, 6 hours, round the clock, no sleep,
Whoa.
no drink, just streaming pretty much. And that it sounds super sad, but it's a lot of fun.
It was the best time of your life.
Yeah, right. I'll look back on the golden days and I had all this energy. But yeah, it's just a combination of great people on the team, all working really hard, just round the clock, really, I think.
So it sounded like you moved over from London, or was it just the UK in general?
I've been all over.
Yeah, that's kind of my fault.
So yeah, Sydney is from America. I'm from just outside of London. We've lived in America and Georgia for a while. We went back to England. Now we're in Canada. We'll probably be back in England in the new year. So we kind of bounce around,
You did the right thing by getting out of America, I think, when you.
That's what every American's told me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Perfect timing if you didn't plan it that way.
Yeah. So we go where the winds of fate take us.
Yeah.
I guess.
that's nice.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And Sydney, were you in the Georgia area? Did I detect a southern twang
I
to
did
your
hear it,
accent?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I'm from South Georgia in the Okefenokee Swamp.
Ooh,
Ooh, that
That's-
sounds very D&D.
I know. It does sound very D&D-ish.
It is.
That's where all the red dragons.
Were you gonna say rednecks?
No.
Red
what did your
dragons.
dad say? He turned
yeah.
red dragon? No.
Maybe that's what he was talking
Maybe.
about. I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, to this day we don't really know.
You know what? We're going to have to invite him to be on this podcast.
That's right.
I need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what drew you to I guess to Will and to playing on the podcast?
That's another story you glossed over. I want the
Yeah.
details.
Yeah.
Well,
What do you see in this guy?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I know he is the sexiest D&D player alive,
He's got a great accent.
according to his the image that he's got on our website,
I
Right.
hate
and
that.
is actually right next to this Twitch stream right now, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, in my home group, our DM wrote this module for the DM's Guild, and he had us all play test it. And then Will found the module like 2 years ago and decided he wanted to interview all of us on like how it was written, how it was play tested, what we changed before it was put on the DM's Guild, and all of those things. And so then yeah, I guess the interview just went really well. And so then he messaged me, and then like 2 weeks later we started dating, and here we are.
Yeah.
So it was the Dungeons and Dragons that did it.
Yeah.
It was definitely the D&D. What can I say?
It's all that power.
I'm a simple gal with simple needs.
Grandma Kathy would be proud.
She is.
Are you still playing D&D with Grandma Kathy?
Yeah, we play with me and her and my mom and my little 10-year-old cousin Tyson around our kitchen table whenever I'm actually home.
No way.
That is so cute.
I love that.
Yeah. It's like really crazy to me that Tyson, who's a boy, is learning everything about D&D from me, my grandma, and my mom.
Yeah. That is super cool.
It is cool. Yeah.
Who's the DM in that group? Is it your grandma?
No, it's me.
Oh,
it's
it's you.
me this time.
What kind of
Coming
character
down
does
still.
Grandma play? I don't know why I'm obsessed with
No,
her.
I am too. I want to know more.
Tell me more about Grandma
She
Kathy.
she plays a wood elf ranger named Enna. And then Tyson is a dragonborn warlock named Ren, and my mom plays, I don't even remember, a human cleric, I think, named Clara.
Clara the cleric.
She's not like as into it, but she has fun.
Let's go. Someone's got to be the cleric. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
good job, Mom.
Good on you and playing with your family and making it
Both of
a
them.
thing. I think that's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, they love it.
Yeah.
I'm. We talk about it all the time about when we're going to introduce it to our. I have a 6-year-old.
She's so ready.
She'd
She's
be
so
into
ready.
it. But now, the more I think about it now, the 4-year-old would like detract from it. I think. Like I want them to both be like as into it at the same time
Yeah.
as possible.
Edna's going to be the DM, though.
Yeah, she
So
is.
you just get her started, and then she can DM for Fiona.
That's actually a really good idea. I like that.
I think she needs.
Yeah.
You need to spend some special time with her first.
I know, right? I was going through the Tomb of Annihilation at home, and they're like, Fiona was actually the one who'd be like, "Is this a bad guy? Is this a bad guy? Tell me more about the snake girl." There's like that image with the snake.
she likes-
Yuan Ti.
Yeah, she likes the villains.
She does like the bad guys. Yeah, she really does.
She'll like
We-
Betrayal at Baldur's Gate.
We have this podcast that I run through the Encounter Roleplay Network called Wonder Quest, and it's features an all-female cast. And we recently got a lot of tweets about like how fathers are listening to it with their daughters to
No
like get them
way.
into D&D, and it's so
Very
cute.
sweet. Yeah.
That is really cool.
That is cool. Now I'm going to put that on my rotation.
Oh, cool! Yeah, that Allison Robinson is on it. I know you two are like
Twitter friends.
buds. Yeah, Twitter friends.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have a lot of fun with that, especially knowing like kind of what it's doing in the community,
Yeah,
especially with
yeah.
families.
Yeah. That's cool. I keep trying to get them into the art and getting them in that way so that once they start playing, they have like that frame of reference. I think that's the way to do it
Yeah,
too.
yeah, definitely.
And then listening to it as well helps. So once we go on another like long car ride or something like that, that'll be perfect. We'll throw that on. I mean, other than Dragon Talk,
I was gonna
we always have Dragon Talk because
Always have.
Yeah.
You have to,
I mean,
because Fiona needs to ask
I'll be
me
like,
about it.
this girl who on the thing is only 13 years older than me.
She's your age, and she's playing. Look
She's
at
a
all the stuff she's
teenager. You
doing.
talk about wanting to be a teenager all the time.
You probably really are a really good role model for these young, up and coming D&D females. Because they don't want to listen to an old lady like me. Dungeons and Dragons is really good for you, kids.
Everything I learned from the D and the D.
They want like a nice young 19-year-old. Yeah,
Yeah, it's an aspirational thing.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody's
Thank you.
aspiring to be on the other side of the hill.
We sell ourselves short here on the Dragon Talk podcast.
Low
Oh my God.
expectations.
So yeah, talk a little bit more about the Encounter Roleplay Network because that kind of,
Yeah.
and then we can get to Learn by Play because I want to really make sure folks know all about that.
Yeah. Well, we're running a lot of shows at the moment. As we always do. We got the Wonder Quest podcast, as Sidney mentioned, and I also DM a podcast called Turn Cloaks, which is a lot more grim, dark fantasy, which is weekly and a lot of fun. Although there's a lot of tears.
Yeah,
Wow.
maybe not the best way to get your daughters
No,
into
don't.
into
No.
D&D.
That's a bad
What
idea.
are all the tears from?
Well, it gets pretty emotional at
Yeah.
times. You know,
Oh.
we play this really big guy in terms of he's built.
Yeah.
Named Tall Score, who's on the Learn by Play show. always wearing a Jocks Machina shirt.
Yeah.
And he's breaking down in front of us, and I'm like, oh no, what have I done? What have I done?
Broken him.
I've broken him. So it's we go to some deep emotional places on Netflix, I guess.
Wow.
But yeah, we run. We're live on Twitch pretty much every day, playing a variety of different D&D games. Play a couple of other RPGs as well. Occasionally a bit of Call of Cthulhu, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah. A lot of people dig that for the storytelling, mechanics of that.
That's it, yeah. And there's a website as well. There's a daily article on that we're overseeing most of the time, and getting written by a wonderful team. And we've got a webcomic coming out later this on Halloween. In fact, it launches called I Necromancer, which will be a weekly little webcomic. So there's a lot of kind of tabletop RPG media, as well as the Twitch shows and the podcasts and everything like that.
And then the YouTube channel with
yeah.
random D&D skit things. And
yeah. So it's pretty hectic at the moment, I have to say, really.
Yeah, you have kind of made it like this full menu of wherever you wanted to get, from web pages to podcasts to live streams to short comedic videos. It sounds like you're basically creating, your own media empire. That's what they call it, right?
Yeah.
That's the plan, right?
That is what you're doing.
So you're role playing as this evil bard who's trying to control us through media.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
That's the name of the game.
That's the game.
Just like you, Mr. Tito.
Shh, shut up. That's not. Keep it. Roll a deception. That's awesome, man. And I've been hearing about it for like the last, I don't know. I feel like year. I guess when you started up years ago. When I've been here at Dungeons & Dragons for like 2.5 years. So since I was there, I kept hearing Encounter Roleplay, and it was awesome to be able to work with, talk to you on this, but then work with you for the podcast of Annihilation. You guys did that awesome episode for us in September for the Dungeon Delve RSS feed. That was amazing. Really good stuff. And then you guys guested on a few of other ones too. Didn't I hear your voice on... was it?
Yeah, we
Taking
were on
Initiatives?
You Meet in a Tavern podcast and the DM's group one. That was done. Yeah, so we like to hang out with some other friends in the D&D community, and the podcast of Annihilation was so much fun. Because I work so much in the Twitch kind of sphere of things. I don't often get to hang out with the podcasters who I listen to, but don't actually get the chance to meet and play with a lot of the time. So it's really nice to get to meet some of those guys and play some games with them. Yeah.
Nice.
So how do you curate the programming for Twitch? Like, is there particular shows that you're looking for, or do you see like, not a lot of people are doing this X type of thing. Let's try to put together a group to fulfill that need.
Yeah. We try and see what other folks are doing, and either do something a little bit different, which is where the learn by play thing came from. We've been running a show which is the beginners play D&D for probably about six months or so, and that's basically, I find new D&D players, people who haven't played 5th edition or any D&D before. I DM for them and I kind of show this process, which is if you are a beginning D&D player, how on earth do you become like a role player, or how do you become an expert, or how do you get
better, right? Like how do you just improve and introduce new stuff to your game, right?
Yeah. And at times, in the past when we start out with session 1, it's like super awkward, but I kind of like that about the show because it's real in that sense, because when I have sat down at session 1s with people, it's been a little awkward pauses and no one quite knows if they should role play or whatnot, and I think that's been helpful, and we try and do different bits of shows really. You got your standard fare, let's play a high fantasy D&D 5e campaign in the Forgotten Realms, which is great, and then you've got the the dark horror of Call of Cthulhu, which there isn't too much on Twitch at the moment. So we enjoy doing.
It goes all over the place.
Yeah. I mean, that's the great thing about the network as well. We can do Wonder Quest, which is quite light-hearted. We can do Turncloaks, which is super dark fantasy. So it helps me as well because playing so much D&D 7 days a week, for 2 years. You need some variety, else I will
Yeah.
go mad.
Right, just
I mean,
can't do the
arguably
same.
I already have.
I was gonna say
It's a lot of D&D.
that's a lot of the Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, the Learn by Play that we've been doing on Saturdays at 3 p.m. Pacific time here on the D&D Twitch channel. I love that idea because you are stopping and talking to the audience about what the decisions that you made while dungeon mastering, which I think is tantamount to being able to learn and teach people how to dungeon master. I mean, I think that's one of the biggest things that we always talk about here is like that's the inhibitor to more groups being formed is more dungeon masters out there. And I think live play in general has helped because people can be like, oh, Will did this way or Matt Mercer does it that way, and I can pick and choose tactics and or voices even like from those people. But just actually talking about why you did the certain things that you did has got to be really enlightening for folks.
Right, yeah. It's something you should say, actually, because we had an interview with Matt sometime last year, which was when the idea for the show came about. We were talking about how there's this perception that if I watch Critical Role and I see Matt DMing, like, wow, he's so good. How on earth do I get to that level where he is, how fluid his DMing is? And so the idea was born there, where I thought, what if we did a show where not only is it just a kind of like a Q&A sort of roundtable sort of show, which I found useful, but we came to a point where we were doing these weekly roundtable Q&A sessions, answering people's questions in chat. But it came to the point where telling felt like we weren't really doing enough to get across some of the techniques that we actually do. So I wanted to come up with a format of a show which was, okay, how do I tell people but also show them as well the next second, okay, guys, I'm going to run this encounter in this such way, and then actually go and do the encounter. So yeah, that was how that kind of idea came about. And based on the feedback that we've had so far from people who've been watching the show, I'd like to think it's doing well. People seem to be enjoying that format. So I'm really happy about that, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think a lot of people realize that, it depends on the style of the dungeon master, but like 90% of what is going to happen in a session is made up on the spot.
Right.
Right? Like you don't even know. Like people are like, oh, X person is so good, or this, this was amazing. But most of it just comes from trusting improvisation and the ability for the human mind to create stories from details that don't necessarily fit together, and like the players are all invested in wanting to come up with the story. So even if it's something that's crazy or far-fetched, that is just some random thought that you had, it's like nice to just be like, oh yeah, that's okay, and run with it and let the work go to your players a little bit on the world building of it.
Yeah. Well, and we hand over to the players to explain some of what they're thinking, what they're doing as well, and that's where Sydney and the other players will come in on that show.
So how's that been from your end as a player there, Sydney?
It's been really interesting. I was really excited to do this, especially after we have done beginners play for so long, and we've seen the results of that with people. Saying, I'm so much more confident now. I like to do voices now. I really like to do backstories, like all of these things. So it was really fun to show people how to really get into that character, how to appreciate that character, how to want to always play that character, and all of those things, and how to keep your character alive because you like them so much.
Yeah, that's true, because there's so many fan favorites of characters here on a D&D channel or on Critical Role, and I feel like everyone wants that experience.
Yeah.
But how do you get to that point? I guess, and that's
Yeah, it's really interesting. Soon we're gonna all be voice actors, and
Costumes, we'll have to have cosplay.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. Do you guys do cosplay? Are you a costume favorite?
I want us to dress up as Velma and Shaggy for Halloween.
Oh,
I'm kidding.
cute.
Someone is having a little trouble getting on board.
It's because I look like Shaggy and I do the voice sometimes. I think that's why.
Yeah. Now we have to get you.
close to home?
We have to get you and Matthew Lillard in the same room.
Yeah.
So that you can have like a Shaggy off. Because he
like
doesn't
the
look
sound
anything
of
like Shaggy.
Yeah, definitely.
He does.
Does he look like Shaggy? I don't think so.
I think I've seen that movie so many times that he just is going to look like him, no matter what.
See, I think Will looks more like him with the long hair and the stubble and the zoinks.
Too close to home. And he says zoinks all the time.
And
he's always eating like
Yeah, it's a real problem.
Stop saying zoinks on this.
sandwiches that are like 9 feet tall.
He's always got a box of Scooby stacks.
Hungry.
Yeah.
Scoops. I gotta work on my voice. My Scooby
That
voice.
was not it. You got to get Matt to give you some pointers.
Yeah.
It was I feel like I mentioned this before, but like when he was here, he'd like recorded a note to Quinn, to Shelley's
to my son.
And he just like grabbed the phone and like transformed into that character.
Yeah,
It was very quick.
Hi, Quinn. I hear you really love me.
Wait, that sounded like Sydney.
No, now I'm talking like, that's my Sydney impression. I'm your Grandma Kathy.
Shelley, more than me, is an expert voice actor.
Clearly.
Clearly, she's been
I did C-3PO's voice this morning.
to great fanfare from your 4-year-olds.
He loved it. I'm not even going to tell you what he said. It's inappropriate.
It was something about butts, I think, wasn't it?
The other side.
Raising them classy here.
Put in the P in C-3PO.
Oh my gosh! If Anthony Daniels hasn't said that at like a party at some point,
Seriously. He can have it.
all right. Someone know Anthony? Just let him know. That's one. That one's for you, buddy.
Yep.
We made that up for you. So you got Learn by Play going on for the foreseeable future here on Saturdays. What is going on in the future for Encounter Roleplay? You said you were moving, perhaps your location.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be off to England, but I think usual programming will resume. But we've got a big project which is coming up in December.
Yeah, we just finished up our first Kickstarter and delivered that yesterday.
Yeah, we delivered a first Kickstarter we ever did, which was in June. Finished end of June. Which the Breath of Gore was a D&D adventure module. So we just finished that tomorrow.
Nice.
Yesterday, Rob.
Yeah.
And now we're planning in December to do a big D&D audio drama. And have this really kind of written out scripted adventure, get a bunch of different actors and voice actors in, and to produce a show, really, more so than just a podcast, but something which we've got a bunch of talent in to draw from. And we're really looking forward to launching that in December 1st, I think, actually. Yeah.
That's exciting.
That's really cool. I think D&D does lend itself very well to that medium.
Yeah. And I think God's Fall and some of the other podcasts that were in Podcast of Annihilation kind of straddle that line between live play and recorded voiceover. That's really cool. I mean, I know Shelley didn't know this was an audition, but I mean, if you want to use Shelley...
Right?
we do have a Southern grandma role. And
I think Grandma Kathy
we'll
might
have to
beat
tell
me up for
Grandma
that
Kathy
one.
that it's been filled, but
Sorry, Grandma
I think
Kathy.
she'll understand.
Yeah.
Right. Well, break it easy to her on her 30th birthday.
She has her whole life to look forward to. I'm at the tail end here.
Let me take some roles.
Shot.
This is my only chance. That's so funny. My wife is actually auditioning today for a Southern Belle type role.
No way.
Yeah, for the plant. So she's been
what?
talking in Sydney's accent all weekend long.
For a theater?
For
Or
a theater,
what?
that's right.
Which
yeah.
theater?
The one in West Seattle, the Arts West.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Super cool.
I hope it goes well. Next week when you guys hear this, I'll probably be like, yeah, she's not in that.
Break a leg, Aaron.
Did not happen. We're just getting used to disappointment at this point.
Confidence.
Well, now if we're disappointed, and then if it happens, we'll be excited, but we won't be.
Put it out to the universe. Positivity.
That sounds like the message.
Erin got cast in the show.
Erin is in the show right
See?
now, so by the time you listen to this, you guys will be able to buy tickets, and I'll be shilling that instead of
instead of the D and the D.
instead of these
Nathan's
guys'
gonna be
Kickstarter,
like,
which is happening on December 1st.
maybe Erin could audition for their Kickstarter.
Oh yeah, that's a great
That's what
idea.
I'm thinking, like if it doesn't go so well, the audition, there's we won't take no for an answer.
She can beat me at my own game.
That's right.
My own
She
accent.
can do the Southern accent. She can do a British accent pretty well too. So I feel like she's.
So we're both out of a job.
That's it.
I can do like Long Island-ish.
You can do a Long Island accent.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
So one time I was in Florida with my mom. We were in a swimming pool, and this other mother and daughter, we were like, they were like our nemesis. We're like, we're the only mother and daughter here, bitch. And, and the
like
mother,
you do at Disney World.
Yeah, as
Yeah.
you do when you're 10.
Yeah.
And the mother and daughter were floating in the pool together, and we heard them go, "What's the difference between pastrami and corned beef?" And the mom goes, "Corned beef is spicier." And that's all we said for like the next 20 years.
And you're like, I know that I can be
Mommy.
a perfect Long Island
Yeah.
accent as long as I say those words.
Still, there are probably at least 15 times this year alone I have asked her, "Mom, what's the difference between corned beef and pastrami?" And then she'll just answer, and then we move on.
Aw,
It's like
that's actually a really
it's a thing.
It's a thing.
Yeah. But anyway,
I don't have any of those with my mom.
you don't have those moments.
No, I don't. Where we're mocking other mother and daughters. No, we don't do that.
And you don't have any of the good D&D play with your mom stories.
I don't either. You guys, everybody else on this mic right now has got better stories than I do.
Oh.
I know.
That's what you have to break the cycle with your children.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna take them to Disney World and make fun of people.
No,
Just like
I
this
meant the D&D part.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to make fun.
Nice. Well, I feel like we've diverged away from you guys and what you're
Sorry.
talking about. So this has all been an audition for me and Shelley to audition for this audio drama. Are we in?
We'll get back to
Yeah,
you.
don't call us.
Yeah.
We'll call you.
Wow.
Oh.
Do you want our headshots?
Yeah.
We have them.
We got headshots
Yeah, just
for the
send them
audio
out.
drama.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Are there audio headshots for voice actors? Because you'd think like an actual physical headshot doesn't mean anything, right?
No.
So you got to be like, here's my card. It's got a USB thing on it that has my voice
My
on it.
voice. Here's my voice.
Things we'll never find out unless we talk to Matt Mercer again and ask him that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you guys are awesome. I can't wait to find out more about this audio drama. I think that's a really cool idea.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think that's cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, so do we.
We're very excited about it.
Yeah, and this has been a lot of fun as well. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, guys. So I think you mentioned where people can find you already, but do it again. Just let people know where it's the best, even on Twitter. Where can people find out more about what Encounter Roleplay and you personally are doing?
Yeah, you can find Encounter Roleplay on Twitter at EncounterRP or on Twitch, twitch.tv/Encounter Roleplay. I'll say hi in the Twitch chat as well. And Encounter, if you just search Encounter Roleplay into most websites, not all of them, you should find something to do with us. And
Take that for what you will.
take that however you will. So we're in most places, very much like the plague. So. Yeah.
And then our podcasts, you can follow Turncloaks at TurncloaksPod, and you can follow WonderQuest at WonderQuest Pod, Wonder with an A, not an O.
Yes.
Because I don't know. That's just what I came up with.
Wander.
And,
WonderQuest.
yeah, and you can follow me at Sydneyak. It's on the screen, and life is great.
There you go.
That's awesome, you guys. Yeah, I'm sure we'll have you guys on again in like 6 months' time to hear about how that audio drama went, and we'll be accepting our,
We'll know how it went because we'll be on it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say we'll be accepting our audio drama awards for our performance.
Right.
I was trying to come up with what the Oscar would be for that, but I don't know.
There is an award.
We already won it. That's how we know. Because
Okay,
it's
that's
Now we know.
right. Put
Thank
it
you
out
guys.
to the universe.
Thank you.
If you should watch Learn by Play, it's 3 p.m. Pacific time on twitch.tv/DND.
And you should watch it.
And go to all the other awesome ways to consume content that Will and Sid are making all over the internet. Make it happen. All right. Talk to you guys later.
Thank
Thank
guys.
you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. They are adorable.
They're adorable children.
Teenagers.
Could be my kids.
Good kids. Good kids, as they say.
Yeah, good kids. See, good kids.
Good kids. Gosh, I didn't realize they were that young. It's like the first. Isn't that great to learn that on like right as the interview's about to start?
Yes.
You're like, oh my gosh, I had totally a different idea that you guys were.
I just like that there's young people playing D&D and that their grandmas are teaching them
and they've been doing it for years.
for,
Years.
half their lives.
More time than I've been alive. Which
Right.
makes it's a paradox, I know, but it makes a little bit of sense.
God, I've been at Wizards almost as long as Sid's been alive.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Oh my
till-
gosh. Your like employment history is older than her.
My employment history is like her. It's like living in Canada with her nice English boyfriend.
This is amazing. So, do you think now that you want to do everything differently in your life?
Now I just think I want to go home and go to bed.
And get over this whatever eye disease that
I
you've
just
got.
want to like put on my slippers, shove some Kleenex in my sleeves, and go home and watch the Hallmark Channel.
Like most 90-year-olds do.
That is not even a lie.
It's kind of what needs to happen. All right, you're late for your meeting. And you got to go. How do people find out about you and all the fun
And
things
my eye disease?
that you're doing for games everywhere?
You should follow me on Twitter at Shelly Moo, or you can follow Avalon Hill at Avalon Hill 2, the number 2.
Dose.
On Twitter. Or we're both on Facebook. Avalon Hill is on Facebook, and Shelly Mazendoble, writer, is on Facebook. Follow that Shelly, not the regular Shelly. Regular Shelly is boring.
That's writer with a Y, right? It's
It's R-I-D-E-R. I'm the writer.
You always it's not like a contract writer. You're like, Shelly Mazendoble. I need brown M&Ms separated.
This is the third time today someone has mentioned brown M&Ms.
Really?
Yeah.
What was the other 2 times?
I think Bart was one, and then someone in the gym said it.
I don't trust people who talk about M&Ms in the gym.
They're sad.
Yeah.
There's nothing sadder than like being on the treadmill, like brown M&Ms.
Yeah.
Someone just said brown M&Ms.
Oh my gosh, we could be making so much in advertising from this, right, Ryan?
See? Is that what you mean?
Is that what you mean? That's what it is.
Do you ever watch Project Runway?
I have.
Do you watch Project Runway, you guys?
Make it work.
There's so much product placement on there. They'll just be like talking like regular competition, like, but if I use my scissors from Fiskars scissors, everything is just so much better. Okay, back to the drama.
We do that with Dungeons and Dragons. We're like,
that.
if we had a Dungeon Master screen, this would be such a better podcast. And good, it's right here. We've been having this whole time.
That's our own product. You're going to charge our own product.
Yeah.
Hey, we should talk to the Magic team.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
We should talk to Avalon Hill.
Oh,
no money. Indeed. All right, so you guys should go to magic.wizards.com to learn more about Magic the Gathering. It's a fun game that you can play in between playing Dungeons & Dragons.
Weird.
Yeah. There's also a plane shift in which you can play Dungeons & Dragons within the Magic universe. There's a new one coming out for Ixalan in the next couple of months, and they played over their Extra Life thing
they did.
just recently. Chris Tulloch and his wife, Kat Kruger, created an amazing adventure that 2 people went through. So that was last Friday morning.
Oh, they were busy that day.
So go check out their Twitch channel, twitch.tv/magic. And they in the collections there, you should be able to find out some of the previous stuff that was going on there. They did a lot of fun stuff. They played Magic and Dungeons & Dragons for 24 hours straight.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's good stuff. See, how's that for guilting me into it, Sean? It worked. I didn't even think about it. I'm like, yeah, why don't we talk about Magic and what Magic is doing? Because they're doing amazing stuff. Because they're not paying you. Dang it. I mean, kind of. Yeah, they are,
The
though.
first taste is free, Ryan. You want us to talk about you?
You got to give us all the Oh, they do.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Dang it.
Oh,
All right.
right.
We're going to close this podcast out with a hurrah.
And Betrayal at Baldur's Gate is in stores right now.
Hurrah!
Woo!
You can follow me. I'm at Greg Tito. Ask me any of the craziest questions you want to about Dungeons & Dragons. You find out anything about the hobby at dungeonsanddragons.com or dragonmag.com, where we have bi-monthly issues of Dragon Plus. And you'll get more of that stuff tomorrow with Bart Carroll at 2 p.m. Pacific time on twitch.tv/DND. All right. You guys are awesome. We'll be back with you next week on Dragon Talk.
Goodbye.
Keep rolling those 20s.
Oh.
I gotta have a catchphrase.
Yeah, we need it.
Keep drinking water.
See you later.
We did both the intros and outros, right?
We got in the mid.
I think you're good. I think you're good to get out of here. We did the intro.
My eyes are
Right?
itching.
Yeah. Twitch folks, we're going to take a quick break. And
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're fine. Shelly needs to go to a meeting. It's very important. Everyone
Goodbye.
tweet at her that she's awesome, but that she has to go do other important stuff. I'm going to be calling Frederick Tremblay from BCom Studios to talk about Tales from Candlekeep.
Love him.
In just a couple minutes. All right, we're going to take a quick break and
Goodbye,
get right back
friends.
to it. All right, bye.
Like-